أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما أنفقتم من نفقة أو نذرتم من نذر فإن الله يعلمه وما للظالمين من أنصار. Dear friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I recited Surah Baqarah, Ayat number 270. In this ayat, Allah tells us about our spending. So the money that we spend, so our spending must be according to the teachings of Islam. The second thing which is expressed in this ayat is vows. Vow is the personal commitment with Allah in order to fulfill the demand that the person has. Because a person has a pledge with Allah that if you fulfill my demand, then I will keep fast, or I will give food to the people, or I will pay sadaqah. So these are different type of options in that. So this is called nazar in Arabic. That is in this ayat Allah said min nazrin. So nazar is that one. So nazar mean vow. So to make vows, it means to make personal commitment with Allah in order to fulfill the demand. So that if my demand will be fulfilled, then I will do something. I will pay sadaqah, or I will give some money to the poor people. So this type of thing. So that demand must be before Allah, not to any other person or any other creation throughout the universe. So this way, if the people who are just to follow the commands of Allah, they are good people, and the people who are not to follow it, and they are oppressors, they are wrongdoers, and there is no any helper for them also in this world and the world hereafter. So we read this ayat, we understand more better, inshallah. So Allah said, وَمَا أَنفَقْتُمْ, and whatever you spend, min nafaqatin, from your expenditure. وَمَا أَنفَقْتُمْ min nafaqatin, and whatever you spend from your expenditure. أَوْ نَذَرْتُمْ, or you make vow from min nazrin, from the vows. It means you make vow like you request Allah that if your demand, you have some demand, if that is fulfilled, then you have to do something. You make something compulsory upon you, that I will keep fast, or I will pay sadaqah to the people, or I will feed the poor people. So this is like a vow. So, aw nazartum min nazrin, and you make vow from vows. Fa inna Allah, so indeed Allah, ya'lamuhu, knows that one. So whatever vow you have, So Allah knows that one completely, and Allah knows all of your expenditure, and whatever you spending, Allah knows of that completely. وَمَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ, and there is none for those who are wrongdoers or oppressors, min ansar, any helper. وَمَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ min ansar, and there is no any helper for those people who are wrongdoers, who are oppressors in this world and the world hereafter. Because so there is no any helper. Help will not be given to those people also who are deviating from the commands of Allah, or who are not following the command of Allah in order to spend their money. So this is the message that we got from here. We read one time more. Allah said, وَمَا أَنفَقْتُم مِّن نَفَقَةٍ أَوْ نَذَرْتُم مِّن نَذْرٍ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يَعْلَمُهُ وَمَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ مِنْ أَنصَارٍ. And whatever you spend from your expenditure or make the vows, in fact, Allah knows it. And for the wrongdoers or oppressors, or disobedient people, there are no helpers. So there are no helpers in this world, and the world hereafter they will have no help automatically because of their disobedience. They will get the punishment also. So we understand here one thing that is mentioned in Arabic, nazar. Nazar is vow, personal commitment with Allah in order to fulfill your demand, what you want. You request Allah, you place your demand before Allah with your request that if this my job is done, or this my difficulty is finished, or this type of my demand, if it is fulfilled completely, so then I will do sadaqah, I will pay sadaqah, I will pray salatul nafal, I will feed the people, or I will give money to the poor people. So you have to make different options when you request a demand before Allah, and then you say, if this will be done, then I will do this one in place of you are in fact you are making something compulsory for you. If your demand will be fulfilled, so what you have made compulsory for you, you will do that one. Like if you have requested that if my demand is done, then I will pay sadaqah, then you have to pay that one. That is compulsory for you. So you have to pay 100% to that one. So this is a nazar in Islam, and that is just for Allah. You are not allowed to request any other person or any other creation from the creation, any other except Allah. So you have to request only Allah. If someone is requesting for some other other than Allah, then that will not be accepted. That will be called haram, or is unlawful in Islamic Sharia. So this way so that thing is not allowed. Like hadith comes in Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha revealed, and that hadith is in Bukhari, that the person who is just to request the vow before Allah, so that person must follow the command of Allah and should not be disobedient to Allah. And if his demand is unlawful according to Sharia, then he should not fulfill it, and he is not to fulfill that demand, and then is like he is not to pay for that what he has committed with Allah. So he is not to do that one, but in order to uh, uh, he should cancel that one and request Allah that I have done wrong things, so that was out of Sharia, so I request for forgiveness, and then he should pay for that. That we call it kafara. Kafara mean and just to pay something, then this unlawful thing will be forgiven. So this is like this nazar or vow, then it becomes like a you can say like swearing, like when a person is swear that oh, wallahi I will do that, so that is like that. So then like the kafara or the payment that will make the forgiveness from the swearing, same that person will pay in order to get rid of the sinful vows, like which has been done by him unlawfully. So that person request Allah that I have done my request or my demand that was unlawful, so I request for forgiveness, then I pay something that is like mostly it is like to feed the 10 masakin. So then the person is just to feed the 10 masakin or just pay for that according to the money which is to equal to the feeding of 10 masakin. So he has to give charity or to the poor people, so that will be done. Then his unlawful demand or unlawful vow will be forgiven. So the because if you look in the hadith Nisai and Trimzi, and the Prophet ﷺ said that if a person is just to make vow, if the vow or the personal commitment with Allah that is unlawful, so a person should not fulfill it, and but he has to pay for it, so Allah will forgive the person then. So he is not to fulfill that one. So this is in Tirmidhi and Nisai also. So this way, and if a person what type of demand the person has, and what type of option the person said what type of option he made for himself compulsory, so then the person has to pay that one if that is under the limit of Sharia. So this way in Surah Hajj ayat number 29, Allah said wal yufu nazurahum. So it means you have to fulfill your vows, your nazar, you have to fulfill it. And because if the nazar or if the vow is according to Sharia, and then you have to fulfill it completely, and otherwise it will be sinful for you, and you have to fulfill it completely if it is under Sharia. So Allah knows about your vows, and Allah knows whatever you made personal commitment with Allah and what you have to do in return if your demand will be fulfilled. So Allah knows your intention also. Allah knows for what purpose you have done, and what is inside the hidden point that is in your mind. So Allah knows everything, and whatever is reward or punishment for that, Allah knows about that. This way Allah said فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يَعْلَمُهُ. So in fact Allah knows about that completely. And Allah said, وَمَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ مِنْ أَنصَارٍ. And the people who are not to follow the teachings of Islam, then they have no any helper actually. See, because the people who are just to spend the money against the teachings of Holy Quran, teachings of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, so they are the people, they are wrongdoers, they are oppressors. For example, we understand that the people who are who are just to spend money, they have to give the money to the people, and after giving money to the people, they say to them that they are favoring them, and if they were not to favor, they were unable to do anything. So this type of saying makes their reward for the charity null and void, and those people, they are also wrongdoer. Similarly, if the people who is just to give money to the poor people, and then after giving money, and then the person understand them inferior, or halt them with saying some wording, so then those people, the reward for them becomes null and void, and also they will be included in wrongdoers. Similarly, the people who are just to spend for Allah the inferior things, but they have to buy for them or for their family the superior things, they are also wrongdoers, because they have no respect of Allah. So same like that, the people who are just to spend money for the indecency, for immorality, or the bad things, or the just for their desires, they spend. They have no accounting of that one. They have, when they spend that one for their own desires, they don't count that one. So, but when they are just to spend for Allah, then they feel that if they spend for Allah, then their wealth will be decreased, or their money will be decreased. They are also wrongdoers. Similarly, the people who make the vows that they have to place the demand before Allah, that if their demand will be fulfilled, they have to do something. So they make something compulsory for them to do. So, but if their demand is out of Sharia, if they follow that one and fulfill that one, then automatically they are also deviating from the commands of Allah, and they are also wrongdoers. So, because Allah said, according to the Islamic point of view, what is Holy Quran and Sunnah say about the vow that is made unlawful according to Sharia. So Islamic Sharia says that this type of vow must be cancelled, and should be paid, just so that Allah forgive the person. So that is the main thing we need to understand here. So this way, the spending money just for Allah is only the main thing that we have. Like if a person who make the vows that he has to spend some money in order to fulfill some demand, but he is not making for Allah, then it is unlawful. It must be cancelled, and person has to pay for that. And if a vow that is according to Sharia, then the person must fulfill it completely, and then if he is not to fulfill that one, then that will make him sinful and wrongdoer also. Similarly, like if you look at the hadith regarding to this ayat, the Holy Prophet ﷺ also said that to make vows is not good thing in Islam, because the fate, the Allah has written what the person will do, what is the how the person will spend the life. So everything, when it is written, and that is, we call it taqdeer, or we call it like fate. So that is already written, and when you make the vows, so that vows is if that is to fulfill the demand of the vow, if that is written in the person's fate, then it will be given. But if it is not written there, so person will not be able to get that one also. So this way, to make vows, it becomes not good in Islamic Sharia. So this way, because whatever the person will be given, everything is written by Allah. So we call it taqdeer. Wal qadri khairihi. We read that one. Wal qadri khairihi wa sharri. When we read amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wal yawmil akhir wal qadri khairihi. So qadr is just the fate that is written. So this way, if the person's demand, if it is not written in that one, so he will not be able to get that one. So this way, it is not understood good in Islamic Sharia. So we have to follow the teachings of Islam that we got, that the vows we have to make it if it is desirable, but it is not a good thing in Islam, I told you. That is so, and vow must be made just for Allah and not for any other person. And the spending of it, you are allowed to do. When you can say, I will spend the that one. For example, you made a vow that I I want to open the shop. If my shop will be open shop like for the business of something like, for example, you want the business of computers and you want to open the shop, and you say that I want the business of computers to repair and all that, and I want to open that one. If it is my demand will be fulfilled, then I will keep fasting of 2 days, and I will pay the charity. I will pay that one the money to the poor people. Like you can think that I will pay about like £200 or something like that. So if you then when your shop will be opened and your work is done, then automatically what will you do? So you have to fulfill what you promised with Allah, that after fulfilling my demand, when my vow will be completed, then I will pay for the poor people £200. Then you have to pay that one, and where you have to pay, that is not mentioned. So you can pay that one to your family members who are poor people, from your relatives. You can pay that one to the other people, to any other place where they live. So the place where you have to spend, that is no problem. You can spend any place, because the main purpose is that must be given to those people who are poor. That was you mentioned actually. So this is the point which is mentioned in this one. So we request Allah that Allah keep us to follow the teachings of Islam according to Quran or Sunnah, and we have to spend our money, our wealth according to the teachings of Islam, what we got from Sharia and the Holy Prophet ﷺ, what he said and he did, and he also told us through the Quran and Sunnah. We have to follow that one. We request Allah to follow it completely, and we have to spend our life and also preach the people, say the people to follow the commands of Allah under the Sharia of Islam. So that is the main thing that will make us successful in this life and the life hereafter. Allah give us tawfiq. Ameen.